Legendary items were buffed, and you might not have known that. And more specifically, what's referred to as a 2-1, meaning that the item has 2 attributes and 1 affix on it, have received a buff, and the maximum roll for these affixes can now roll higher. First example here is an Inferno 2-piece, but this also applies to Inferno 1. You'll see here that there is in fact 2 attributes between vitality and strength, and that the maximum beneficial effect duration can now be increased by 7.5%. I don't know if this is as high as it can possibly roll. Previously, the maximum it could roll would be 6%. Here's another example of an Inferno 1 piece, and this one has 2 attributes as well, willpower and intellect, with an affix and maximum critical hit chance of 5%. Now, I don't know if 5% is the cap here. Previously, it was 4%. Finally, I have a set item, and I'm unsure if this was the previous cap before or not. In fact, I've looked through many pieces, inspected a whole bunch of people, trying to find any piece of gear that I could find to match this. So I'm trying to figure out at this point if the change has also affected set pieces or not. But this has 2 attributes as well as 1 affix, and enemies suffering crowd control now take 12.5% increased damage. I believe the previous max for this was 10%, but not 100% sure. So I just want to share this so that other people can kind of help gather information, or perhaps somebody else remembers this as well. The reason I'm starting to question whether set pieces were or not is not only because I can't remember if that were 10%. However, if you look at those 3 items, they've all increased by 25%. So I'm inclined to think that this is the new cap, and that there most likely is not items with higher rolls than what we see here. But from 6% to 7.5% for beneficial effect duration, from 4% to 5% for critical hit chance, and from 10% to 12.5% for the increased damage to enemies suffering loss of control, is all a 25% increase of what they previously had for caps. So I think that these are probably the highest we'll see, but I'm just looking to get some more information, and like I said, perhaps somebody else knows offhand. Now, I actually remember reading or hearing about this going to be implemented to the game. I just can't remember where. Now, this could have been something I read in a prior patch notes where they referenced this, that they were looking to make changes to make that speed more of an option and make items potentially be usable. Or I heard about this through the Partners program, which at this point I can obviously share since it's gone into the game. However, we got no notice of this getting implemented. This went in, it appears on the latest minor update that we had this week with no info in the patch notes, and things get omitted or forgotten sometimes. But I just want to raise awareness that this is actually out in the game, so that you know if you're one of those players that wants to min-max or looking for specific affixes on your gear to maximize side beneficial effect duration, or you're looking for something else as a priority for a stat, that you might be salvaging things that are potentially an upgrade. So make sure that you're looking through your gear, even if it doesn't have those green arrows, and hopefully everybody's kind of learned that lesson by now. If you're looking to maximize some of the affixes on these individual items, you want to make sure that you go through these one by one and don't miss anything. Now, this was tipped off to me by Zyreu, who's shared multiple things with us in the past, typically around the updates, so becoming much appreciated for the time spent and investigation that they're doing for us and helping us get the word out into the community when things like this arise. I've moved over to Castle Cryhanger now, and this isn't game breaking by any means, but it is changed, and I'd like to share this as well because there was no mention of this either. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn in my warband chest, and you're going to notice I've got more than 4 items. The previous cap for this was obviously 4, as a lot of people know. In this case, I have 6. I don't know if this is the cap or maybe it's just uncapped at this point. This is just the number that I happened to collect after the warband raids last night. Figured I would mention this as well. Again, just something that wasn't there. Is this game breaking? Absolutely not by any means, but figured I'd share it. The last topic for today is actually a question I got from multiple people after talking about Ibens in a recent video, and they're wondering what the cost to open the chest were if you didn't have any keys, and what this increased or how it increased as you went through on. So the first chest in Ibens in this first room is free, so that will never have a cost whether you have keys or platinum. The second chest will have a cost of 100 platinum if you have no keys. The third chest will have a cost of 200 platinum, and it will go up by 100 platinum per chest until you get through the third room. Now, once you enter the fourth room, it'll be a cost of 1500. When you open this, it'll go up to 1600, 1700, and so forth until we unlock the final, which is 2000. So there's an extra 100 gap there to that final chest. If you notice, the previous one's 1800, now we have 2000, and then this final hidden chest is again free. So how does this work if you open some chests with keys and the others with platinum? Well, the cost of platinum for that specific chest that you're on stays the same. So if you open 3 chests with keys and you get to the 4th chest, that will still have a cost of 300 platinum. Same situation if you open all the chests leading up to this final room and then choose to open this chest for the first one, it will still be 1500 platinum. So I hope this answers the questions for all those people that were interested, or anybody that was considering maybe figuring out what it costs to kind of save and increase the secondary stats and so forth. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.